Well, I drive a school bus, so every day I would drive by the church, and at the time you all were painting the church, all the little red dots, and I would see progress. And I kept saying, that's really a unique church. And the next thing you know, I don't know, something was calling us to check churches out, and we came here, and we've never left. We both have had church experience. I was raised Catholic and was baptized and confirmed. And then we have a granddaughter who was questioning God, and that woke us up. That's basically what it was, and that caused us to have to come to church. Her growth wasn't there in the beginning until she plugged into the youth group. She was 13 at the time. She's 14 now, and with Pastor Adams, and I'm not sure the other people that are part of that, she has just grown so much. So without it, she realizes that Jesus is her Savior and all that. In fact, she's going to be baptized coming up. But none of that was possible without this church.
I'm in recovery, and through that, my spirituality had begun to redevelop, but I needed more. And by coming to Red, it was lit on fire. I have felt God more in my life now than ever. The biggest turning point for me was the small groups. With my going out of town to work during the week, going home on the weekends, I had a limited selection, but I was able to choose the foundations, which helped me to begin to understand what I was believing in. That's an important class for me. And then when COVID hit, that threw a real monkey wrench into everything. But the virtual groups were a godsend for me. I've been able to hook up through the Experience in God small group, and that has been a wonderful learning experience for me. I could not have done it without Red, without the small groups. I wouldn't have any idea of what I was believing in, at least not to the extent that I have now. I constantly feel like every time more scales are falling from my eyes. If we hadn't plugged into Red, I think my life, the differences in my life from the way it is now, it would be very similar to where it was before we started coming. I would still be looking for something to fill a void that was present. And that I feel that void's getting filled now. I don't believe it. Well, I know it wouldn't have been. I was never that materialistic, but I did care about material things, and material things drove me. Now, not so much. It's more because I realize that the riches on this earth are nothing compared to the riches that are waiting for me in heaven.
I always wanted what someone else wanted. I wanted my sister's stuff and this and that, but for now, it's the want is gone. I seem more happy, more easygoing, and that. And even the family has said, the anger in me is gone, so I'm not as angry anymore. So I'm more at peace.
Yeah, there's a lot more contentment in our lives, I think.
Yeah.
With each other, I mean, we're not Pollyanna about it. It's nothing's perfect. But our contentment level, we're happier now as opposed to just, well, we've got this, what's next? The message is always coherent. It's always forgiving. It always has grace in it, which is important because we're all sinners. And it's relevant. It's relevant to what's going on now. He is able to take the Bible and continually relate it to what's going on in my life and in the world today.
Everybody's so happy, and they always have a smile on their face, and it makes you want to come here. I feel it's a very inviting church.
Yeah, it does. The cheerfulness doesn't feel like Disneyland cheerfulness, where they're earning a check to smile at me. I feel a genuine sense of happiness that we're here. It makes me happy to be here. When we were first going to go to decided we were going to explore going to church again because of our granddaughter. We said, all right, well, we're going to do our due diligence. We're going to go to church for a couple weeks, and if we like it, then we'll try another church just to comparison shop, so to speak. And but we came here the first time, and God spoke directly to us from the pulpit, several times every week, and we've never left. It's to the point now that we got Deborah and I, and our daughters and their families are all now members of Red, all 8 of us. But we're all happy to be a Red family, I think.
Yeah.
We consider ourselves a Red family now, but we plan our life around church activities because this has become such an important home for us.